So in today's video, we're gonna pick up right where we left off on our little John Deere tractor overhaul and take off all these pieces. We've got some stuff underneath that needs to be fixed before we take it to the car show. And like in the previous video where we painted some of the rims and made the 3-point look a lot nicer, just everything look a lot nicer, we're gonna be doing the same under here, especially for those guys who like to really get in there and look. There's some things that really shouldn't be the way they are. So let's go ahead and get all of these fasteners undone, take these pieces off and see the tractor in its raw form. So now that we've got all that stuff off the tractor and we can actually see it in its raw state, we can see that it's really not that bad. There's some barn dust on it. It's a little greasy and grimy here. We'll clean that up, make it look nice again. And we've got some exposed wire down here on the coil. So we're gonna take this whole coil wire off and try to repair it as best we can or end up completely replacing it. And down here, we have some wire we're definitely going to have to replace because it is just a bare wire on metal, and that is not acceptable, especially it's on our light system, our lighting, you know? The minute we turn our lights on, we don't want to blow up the tractor, right? No. And you know, that brings us back to the coil wire. That can cause all kinds of different problems like running poorly, if it arcs and you know, starts a fire, that's not good either. So we'll go ahead and work on that, get that taken apart, but we also will have to take off this battery box so that we can get to this wire down here. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell. There's all kinds of different weird fun projects on this channel, and we're just restoring cars that and tractors and trucks that were once forgotten, derelict, sitting in a field, and bringing them back to life, you know. We're not making them straight off the showroom floor quality because they didn't come here straight off the showroom floor quality. They've lived, they've done some work, they've plowed some fields, they've driven some miles, hauled some loads, you know. They've got history, and we don't want to tarnish that. So we're just trying to make them look decent, make them reliable, and keep them on the road, you know. Oh, and doing it cost effectively too. You don't need a multi-million-dollar shop or thousands of dollars into your project to make it worthwhile. You can do this cost effectively. So if you got that classic car sitting out there in the barn or backyard or in the garage somewhere and you're just like, man, you know what? That's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna get that thing fixed up and restored. You can. You can. And you know, you don't have to go crazy unless you want to. That is completely up to you. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and spray paint those grill pieces yellow. If we don't like the yellow ones when we get it put back together, we can paint them black or back to green, but you know, we're playing around. We're having fun. So we're gonna go ahead and paint those so they can dry and cure while we're working on the rest of this. So let's go ahead and over to that bench. I'll show you what I've got going on over there. Still got a little bit of cleaning to do. So over here, we've got the pieces that go in the grill. So these are the little protectors for the radiator, just keep stuff and whatnot out. But I had done a little poll, a voting deal on what color they should be. So you had a choice between black and yellow. And yellow so far has been very popular. So we're gonna go ahead and paint them yellow. And you know what? If that just doesn't jive and we're like, well, you know, we thought that was a cool idea, but it's not looking as good as we thought it was going to, we can always paint them back to green or black. So we'll figure that out once we get put back together. It might just seal the deal, you know? So let's go ahead, clean these up the rest of the way, get them painted, let them sit outside so they can cure while we work on the rest of the tractor. So let those sit and dry for a little bit, but in the meantime, we can start taking off this coil wire here just to kind of dice it up a little bit, right? We've got a bunch of stuff wrapped around it, an exposed wire, which is all not good. I'd like to not have to replace it, like I said before, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna go grab a couple small wrenches and we'll go ahead and take that off and get it on the bench. So let's see what we've got here. Kind of curious. Why is this all wrapped up? Is it wrapped up just for heat shielding, or which really wouldn't make sense with electrical tape, but you never know. Yeah. Well, that doesn't look bad at all. Let's see what's going on here. We're not going to use electrical tape to fix like this hole here. We're going to use something else. Ooh. All right, so there's the reason why it's like that on that end. So this end is just not looking too good. We might end up just using a whole new wire for this. But let's go ahead and continue forward on the original plan. And I'll show you kind of what my idea was for that. And we'll see how it does. So this was the general idea, just some heat shrink over the ouchie spots. So we'll go ahead and heat that up real quick. You don't want to burn this stuff up because, well, then it just kind of looks messy, and you still want that, do you? So go ahead and get this stuff heated up. Okay. So there's our repaired wire. Like I said, you don't really want to burn it because then it kind of just looks icky, but it is what it is. For all intents and purposes, this will do just fine for what we're going to do. And the reason why I'm wanting to save this wire is because, for one, it's the one that was on the tractor. For two, it's a little bit more thicker. It's a different aught than the other wires I've got lying around here. So I'd much rather just use this. And I might even replace this one here too, just so that it's all got brand new stuff on it. But if this doesn't work, and we don't like this, I've got a whole brand new wire right here, but it's, you know, it's really flimsy. The wire inside of this is not very thick wire, whereas on this guy, it's pretty thick wire. See the difference there? So I'd much rather just use what was on there. It's probably a reason, you know. And it's cool. Reusing what we've got. Because now we've got a perfectly fine wire we can use on something else. So I'm going to go ahead and put another little bit of the heat shrink over this end here too. And then we'll test its ohms. Make sure there's not any in there. And then throw it back on the tractor and we can fix the other exposed wire and move on from there. All right, so the wiring harness is all done. Everything's covered. There's no exposed wire that I can find at this point. We'll probably find more later on, but it's looking pretty darn good right now, especially better than it was, because that's the main goal. And it was just covered in electrical tape and just looked really poor. So moving on from that, I decided I'm gonna take the oil bath off. Now, why am I doing that? Well, one, it's really dirty. It needs to be cleaned. And two, it needs to be repainted. Because right now we've got everything else looking really good and shiny, and then there's this thing that's just kind of out of place. So it's kind of like the gas tank, but you don't see that. But you do see this, and we want that nice and clean and at least looking halfway decent, you know? So all we gotta do is take off one more bolt, sand it up, paint it, put it back on, and then we'll back the tractor out and clean up all of this. Yes, nobody's gonna see it, but at least we'll, you know, done our part. We've cleaned it up, especially, you know, you get that guy in there who's got, oh, look, they forgot to do that. Well, yeah, we did, but it's work in progress, okay? Be easy on her. So we'll go ahead and just clean it up at least. That's the least we can do right now, because the car show is coming up in 2 days. And we gotta get this thing polished up and ready to go. We've gotta get the Chevy polished up and ready to go. And then there's a few other projects that we've worked on throughout the year that are going as well. So we got a lot to do in 2 days. 2 days? Yeah, 2 days. So let's go ahead and get this taken off and try to get this done as quick as we can. All right, so what do you guys think of the tractor now that we've got some stuff painted? Oh, and apologies if the microphone and the audio seems a little crackly. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing their own thing, picking up all kinds of stuff. But anyway, apart from that, we've got the generator painted, we've got the wiring gone through, and everything's looking a ton better than it did before. The only thing we've got to do now is get some of this dust off of it and clean up our mess from when we were cleaning off the engine, which means I think we're ready to back this thing out and set the pressure washer on it. And after that, we can finally put on the hood and grill. Especially, I'm looking forward to putting the grill on with that yellow that it's got on it. I haven't showed you guys what it looks like yet, but it looks really good, and I'm hoping that it's going to look just as good on the tractor with everything put together. So let's get to it. Well, so there you have it, folks. There is an almost fully complete tractor. Unlike other overhauls where you take apart the entire rig and replace every nut, bolt, paint every single thing, and make it all brand new and shiny, setting that hour all the way back to zero, or the odometer back to zero, either or. We're not doing that. We don't want to take the soul away from these things. So it's okay to leave some patina, some scratch paint, some dents here and there. But it's also okay to shine some stuff up, give her some new gloss, protect what's underneath, right? But it's not looking bad. I really like your guys' idea here with the yellow grill. I was a little skeptical when I was painting it. I was like, I don't know. These guys are crazy, but you guys weren't. I was the crazy one. Leaving it green or painting it black just wasn't it. This is great. I like it. Good job. 10 points to Gryffindor. So anyway, there's still a few things that need to be done on this tractor. We've got this. There is a woodpecker right now that's just getting it done. Did you hear that? Wow. That telephone pole's about to fall over, I tell you. Anyway, we've got this that needs to be painted. Some other little ideas I've got for that. Some other little wires that might need to be diced up a little bit just because, like, this one right here, it's just not looking good. And then we've got the entire hydraulic valve body that needs to be taken apart because it's leaking from everywhere. And the PTO just started leaking while we were filming, so. Anyway, overall, let's just take the tractor in for a moment. Let's look at it. About a year ago, when this tractor came here, it looked completely different. I'm thinking I'm looking at a completely different tractor right now. I don't know where this thing came from. I don't know what happened to the other tractor. Somebody took it. If you're watching this video, give it back. I'm kidding. You can keep it. Anyway, we've had this tractor for a year now, and we still don't have a name for it. So we've got a name for the Chevy. We've got a name for the Baja Bug. We got a name. We got Little Red. We got Val's Buggy. But this thing here, we've just been calling it the old John Deere. Big Bad John. That's a good one. Keep that one in mind. But send that down in the comments below this video. What should we name the tractor? How about you guys name the tractor? We'll get a whole bunch of names together, and we'll put it all around. We'll do a voting thing. We'll make it a whole thing, democracy, right? And we'll name the tractor together, and then that's what it will be. And so I'll make a post on the community tab or the posts tab on our channel that will have a lovely picture of the tractor, a close-up of your guys' handiwork, and we'll name the tractor there, and then eventually get it all put together. So be thinking of ideas. John Deere tractor. It's a boy, if that helps. Sylvie's a girl. We gotta have a boy. So anyway, thank you so much for stopping by the garage today. Make sure you turn on that notification bell, like the video, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I will see you right back here at the garage in the next video.